Well, I thought I hit, but don't. So obviously, it's our show as usual. Technical difficulties. It's Jim. It's Amadeus. Hope everybody's having a great time. Amadeus, give us a little what it was like there in your neck of the woods when you were at uh, the eclipse yesterday. I mean, that was you were right in the path.
Yeah, I was right in the path and didn't really have to go far for it. Just walked outside the house and got some good pictures, mainly a video. I kind of just filmed the whole thing on my phone. It was pretty easy to do that, so that was good. And it was an experience for sure.
Well, it won't be another one for another 20 years, so that's going to be amazing. And I saw some great shots. Maybe sometime this week you can share some stuff with us, and we'll put them up there and let people see what's going on.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. I'll send you some, and then maybe we can
okay,
put them up on the screen tomorrow.
yeah, let everybody have a chance to look at them because that would be cool. That is a very cool happening. So there you go. Speaking of very cool happenings, UConn dominates. They win last night. They beat Purdue, and it was one of those things where the coach is smarter than the player. Okay. I say that because Hurley's job yesterday, as he told the team, was let him score, meaning Zach Edey. Let him score as much as he wants to, but stop everybody else. And that's exactly what happened. He went off for big numbers, and the rest of the team didn't even score half as many points as he did.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? He didn't want his team to foul because that was
Yeah,
the big thing. We saw how it affected the Tennessee game when they lost
right.
their bigs late in that game, and
Hmm.
then Purdue was able to pull away. So
Right,
absolutely, I mean, Edie's a great player, but he's just one guy. You can't
right.
score, you can't score the 80 points you need to win the game yourself. So definitely, yeah, the game plan worked out, and kudos to UConn because we were on them since the beginning of the season.
Right.
We said they were disrespected coming into the season,
Hmm.
ranked sixth. They're the best team in the country, and
Hmm.
sure enough, now they're back-to-back champions during a time where we have the portal, and it's one of the
Hmm.
toughest times to win in college basketball. And on top of that, they lost three starters to the NBA and
Right.
still returned there and even won every game in the tournament by double digits, which is absolutely incredible.
By the way, just for the record, that makes 2 years in a row that they won every game in the tournament by double digits.
Yeah, just an incredible feat to
Hmm.
accomplish. An unbelievable team, and they're going to go down in history for sure.
Absolutely. Now, Coach Hurley, uh, like 2.5 seconds after the game was over, said that he is not interested in the Kentucky job. Evidently, John Calipari is not too interested in the Kentucky job either, because he's taken a job at Arkansas, which leaves the gap at Kentucky. I, I'm not so sure that's a job that. I mean, I know it's attractive. I know it pays a lot of money, but the expectations versus what usually happens there could be a problem.
Well, that's the thing, right? Whoever takes that job is going to be
Hmm.
under extreme pressure, and it might even be one of those things where you need to win now with a school like
Right.
Kentucky, and especially the kind of basketball school they are. And the
Hmm.
fact that a guy like Calipari would leave for Arkansas, I think, speaks volumes on the situation over there. Because I find I don't know I found that move a bit of a lateral move. Really, I don't know what the reasoning behind it was. I haven't looked too much into it, but yeah, definitely the ton of pressure being at
Uh,
Kentucky.
I think part of the problem in Kentucky for Calipari is this. He was the king of one and dones. Okay, he would say, come on over, let's play. I'll give you John Wall as an example. John went in. I mean, Calipari went into John's house. John said, what, coach? If heaven forbid I have a good 2 years, is this a problem that that you don't want me if I decided to turn pro in 2 years? And John turned and said, of course not. My job is to make you happy. Your job is to make me happy. it makes you happy to leave in 2 years and we win, I got no problem. There was people who did have a problem with it, and that was the boosters and a number of the fans in Kentucky. They were not crazy about the fact that he was turning teams over in 2 years. Now with portal, you can turn a team over in a year. So it's going to be one of those interesting things. So I think there was more friction between John and the powers that be at Kentucky than it was anything having to do with his coaching. So I think the folks at Arkansas offered him a package and said, "Look, we don't care how you coach, just win." And at the end of the day, I think that's what he did. He took that job.
Yeah, well, good for him. Like I said, I think it's a bit of a lateral move, but he's still staying in the same conference. We'll see what he does at Arkansas. I mean, Arkansas, they weren't great this year, but last year, they were a solid team. They didn't go too deep in the tournament, but they still made the tournament. So definitely the potential is there. And as you said, you can turn a team over in a year now with the portal. So I'm sure Calipari will make that Arkansas team winning right out of the gate. It's just a matter of who's going to take this Kentucky job and who can handle the pressure, really. Obviously, Nate Oates can scratch his name off. I believe he committed to Alabama, but we'll see. I heard Billy Donovan's name thrown around for that one, and he's coaching the Bulls. So, I mean, technically the Bulls can make the playoffs in the play-in tournament with a losing record. So we'll see how Chicago does in the play-in tournament. But yeah, if they don't make the playoffs, then I wouldn't be shocked if Billy Donovan left to go back to college.
There's even people in their camp, in the Kentucky camp, who wants Rick Pitino. Now that would be amazing. You would have had the guy who coached Louisville then go down and coach Kentucky. And probably the only person who can pull that off is Rick. So I don't know. I don't know if he has any more magic left in that bag of his. We'll have to see. But I don't know. 71 years old. I'm not sure that Rick wants to put in all that work.
I don't think he's just going to flee St. John's after 1 year, but maybe he pissed off the higher ups there enough, right? Like with the at the end of the season.
You think that Rick is capable of upsetting the athletic directors in a heartbeat? Rick can get people upset real fast, so it's possible. I was just looking at the 2025 tournament winner odds. Duke is 1,000. It's a plus 1,000. UConn's plus 1,200. Carolina's plus 1,400. Kansas is also plus 1,400. Houston and Arizona and Alabama are all at 1,600. These are plus 1,600. Baylor's at plus 1,800. Kentucky, who's coachless at the moment, plus 2,000. Iowa State plus 2,200. Gonzaga plus 2,500. Also 2,500 is Auburn. 2,800 is Purdue, and Arkansas plus 3,000. Those are the odds of who might win the tournament in 2025. I would think about half of that list they have on there has no chance. I don't think Iowa State is going to be there. Don't think Gonzaga is going to be there. Don't think Baylor is going to be there. Both schools out on Kansas for me. North Carolina maybe. Duke. I don't see Duke. I mean, Duke's the best team in the country.
I don't know how they're the favorite right now. I mean, we've seen this. We've seen 2 years of this John Shire Duke team, and they're soft. That's the biggest problem they've had. They tried to prove they weren't soft. And they got kicked out by really a team that should have been a cakewalk for you, NC State.
Mm-hmm. So in looking through this list, there are names, but until somebody beats UConn, I'm not gonna rule them out. Carolina maybe, but no way. Kansas, Houston's losing a lot of players too. I didn't see anything that compelled me to think Arizona is going to be good. So there you go. Hey, anyway, one last more basketball thing, and that is, we talked about this before. Bronny James is considering. I mean, he's entered the NBA draft. Now he didn't get a representative, so he can go back to school if he chooses to before the NBA draft. He didn't impress us for sure as on the court. I don't understand the draft thing.
Oh, I totally understand it. LeBron announces he's got maybe 1 or 2 years left in the tank now in his career. A few days later, Bronny declares for the draft. Honestly, Jim, he doesn't need a representative because Daddy's going to draft him. So it doesn't really matter, right? They'll use the lowest draft pick, take Bronny because no one's going to want him. I'm with you, right? Like not knocking the kid, but we saw nothing from him this season, right? He's just gonna go what? I thought I saw his average like 4.8 points a game or something like that.
Yeah. The big takeaway or the big headline was he had a heart attack. Now, thank God he came back. Was not was able to come back and play competitive basketball, but it wasn't like he was playing competitive basketball. And this was in a league that was down this year. I mean, if you're going to have a great season, this Pac-12 conference this year would not have been, your favorite opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I get they put, this what they thought, I guess, was a bit of a super team with all this ex NBA players' sons there, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's going to expect. If anybody drafts him, it's going to be the Lakers, obviously. And then even if he does get drafted, like what, he plays a year or two with his father, and then what happens after that? Does he have much of a career, right? Like, I think the best bet is for him to stay.
He goes to Italy and plays. Yes.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah, I don't. It's if it were. Let's just say this: if he had 2 years, okay, I would have thought that would have made more sense. But you're right. If they take him and he gets to play on the team with his father, we'll see. Maybe he's better than we think. Maybe it's if he has his father on there to help him, maybe that's going to be a benefit. But I don't know. It'll be interesting. We'll see. All right, everybody. Coming up, a tournament like no other. The big par 3 tournaments tomorrow. The Masters are here for the weekend. What say you, Mr. Amedeus, on the people to watch here? I mean, personally, to me, this Scotty Scheffler, he's hot. He's playing great golf. This could be his tournament.
Yeah, it could be. I know somebody who's got Brooks Koepka to win this one, so that's
the course sets up nicely for Bruce. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. To me, the story here is we have our lovely legend Tiger Woods getting paired with Live ambassador Phil Mickelson. It's like the Masters just they just queuing up some drama right before the tournament starts. Got to put two longtime legends who pretty much hate each other
and somewhat rivals. Yes.
Yeah, put them in the same. But hey, we talked about how playing with good competition can help you and bad competition. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here because they both have the potential to play like crap and make each other worse. But they also have the potential to push each other because they'll want to beat each other. And obviously, this is a course they both know very well. And it's not as difficult for Tiger as some of the other courses would be, like the one he already withdrew from earlier this season. So obviously he loves to play this course. So
that was Riviera, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tiger Woods is somebody I'm going to watch here. I think maybe he can make the cut if he has a good first day, right? Yeah. It's really going to bank on that first day, though.
It's real. I mean, the Masters. Tiger knows the course. He feels comfortable there. He's played that course, forever, and And as we said before about the course is surprisingly hilly from what you see on television. And that might be, we'll see how, we'll check the weather for the weekend because, or for the week for that matter. If it's hot and it's, I mean, that could be a problem for a Tiger, but we'll have to see. Certainly, I think that you're right that he and Lefty can play off each other, and that certainly doesn't hurt. There's one guy who personally I would like to see win, only because it would allow him to complete the his own career Grand Slam, and that's Rory McIlroy. The only tournament he hasn't won is the Masters.
Well, this was the one last year where didn't he like storm up from the middle on the last day or something? He shot like 6 under or 8 under or something and finished right under.
Yeah.
I forget who it was. Who's the defending champion of the tournament?
I have to look it up. I will look it up. It's
4 years. Sometimes you can forget.
Yeah. Let's see who won it last year.
I feel like it's Koepka for some reason, but
I think you're right. I think it was Brooks.
It was Koepka, right? Because that was the one McIlroy was. I think he was leading for a bit, and then Koepka overtook him at the end or something like that.
John Rahm.
Oh, John Rahm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was way off with that one. Well, it's funny. It's John Rahm.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say he's plus 1,000 to win this tournament. You get some pretty good odds on him too.
Mm-hmm. He, there's there's Wyndham Clark, Brooks Koepka, Xander Schauffele, and Rory McIlroy. That they say, they meaning the Sporting News, say are pretty much right behind Scotty Scheffler for as potential favorites here. And I don't know, Rory, for whatever reason, has not been able to play that course well, which is interesting because it's a good course, but he's won tournaments on much more difficult courses than Augusta National.
Yeah, we'll see, right? Because maybe he's got that rhythm from last year as well. My problem with Scheffler, like I know he won it 2 years ago when he was having that great season he was having. But my problem with Scheffler is there's never any value on him. He's always like a plus 400 favorite in every tournament. And yeah, he very well could win the Masters.
Right.
But do you want to grab him at plus 400? Honestly, every time you want to bet Scheffler, you're better off waiting for the tournament to start and wait for someone to, have a huge first day. Maybe they go 6 under on the first day or something, right? And you can get better odds on Scheffler. Maybe he has a slow start, right? He's just struggling to get a few strokes under par. So definitely, he's a guy you got to live bet for sure.
Yeah, and the other thing too, golf's a head game, right? Perhaps in Rory's case, he psychs himself out at the Masters. It's like he wants so bad to win it that he doesn't want to act. That every shot that he makes is amplified. If he has a good shot, that's great, but a bad shot takes 3 holes for him to forget. Which is that golfers psych each other out all the time.
Yeah, that's a great point to make. It's a very mental sport, and especially if this is the last one he needs to complete that career Grand Slam, then he's building all of this pressure on himself pretty much.
Right, exactly. And that, and let's say you go out and you birdie the first 3 holes, right? Everything's looking good for you. On the 4th hole, you bogey it. You do something stupid. And then for the next 3 or 4 holes, you're thinking about the one thing that you did stupid. You're not thinking about the 3, birdies you got prior to that, to get into that hole. You need to have selective amnesia in golf. You know, how many times? And we're hackers, okay? I'm hacker. I can't speak to you, but
Yeah, I told you I
hacker.
can't use the driver, so.
So yeah, but you hit a putter 300 yards, so that's not bad.
Uh,
Um, the so, and you also have one of the coolest clubs in history, that little flip club.
the 64, full swing
Yeah,
it just over the bunker and onto the green.
right, exactly.
No thought in the shot. That's the whole point.
That's the whole. Just hit it and walk. Um, so yeah, I mean, it becomes you can get in your own head, and sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes not so much. But we'll see how Rory can come out of it. Um, your mind goes all the way back to the British Open when that's the Frenchman Jean Spagnerville, shot, what was it, a 7 or 8 on the 18th to lose the tournament. I mean, it was like Tin Cup and and Kevin Costner just hitting balls and hitting it in the lake until he ran out of golf balls. It was just every possible bad thing that could happen happened to this guy, and it was crazy. But you do what you got to do, and
It's funny.
the
People always talk
Masters
about
can
the
be
hole
fun.
in ones as being rare, but it's just as rare to see someone hit an 8. It doesn't happen often. Only when you just completely unravel yourself.
That's right. I mean, the big number on a hole is, and the other thing is that the one thing at Augusta that is can be difficult, because it's not necessarily a difficult course in itself, is actually it's the fact that it's not a very wide course, so you can be in the trees a lot. It's let me qualify that. The rough is not bad. Okay, so if you get off course, if you're off the fairway, it's not that bad. The damn problem is there's trees everywhere. So you can hit the ball. Yeah, no problem. I don't think you have any real problem of the lie of the ball. It's going to be up to the point where you're not going to hurt it. That's not going to be a problem. The problem is you hitting the ball so you don't hit the tree, because there's trees everywhere in that damn place. It's like you're playing a game, golf in Sherwood Forest.
And it doesn't help that, as you said, fairways are very narrow. So
Yeah.
like you
So
get
you're going to
yourself
get
in
off the
that
fairway.
position, you got a bad angle to the green. You have to waste a
Mm-hmm.
shot now just to get back into the
Just
fairway.
punch it out. But you know what? You just brought up a really good point. How many guys, and we've seen it pros and we've seen it amateurs, they're going to make that incredibly low percentage attempt shot rather than just flip it out into the green and just say, okay, I can't hit the green from here. Let me just flip it out and then take a shot. And maybe if I'm lucky, I'll save it. At the worst, I'll end up with a bogey. And then you'll see those guys who are sitting almost physically behind a tree, who are going to make that shot at the tree because there's a 1 in 99 chance that they can make it. And you're thinking to yourself, all right, that's great. Tiger Woods is not taking that shot, and you're taking that shot. Okay, good on you. I hope it works. I hope you hit the ball hard enough it knocks the tree down, because that's the only way you're getting around it. Because you can't fade it around the tree, not when you're 5 yards away from it. So
Well, I think a lot of what goes into that is the greens on the course, right? Like if you
yeah,
waste that shot, you can't guarantee you're landing it close to the pin, and then even if once you're on the green, like it's not an easy one putt from anywhere on there. So I even had someone ask me about possibly taking there to be an albatross in the tournament this year, and I was like, I don't
what?
think so. Those greens, you'd have to hit a 2 on a par 5 to hit the albatross. And those greens are ridiculous. Like you won't. It's going to be so hard to get that ball in the right spot on the green to make it go in the hole for an albatross.
Okay, and to your point, and this is exactly, again, you don't see on television what the makeup of the green is. Okay, you need sometimes to hit the ball past the pin because it's going to roll back. If you hit it in front of it or like that, you then have the problem of you've got to hit it uphill. Putting uphill is a pain, and because you have no idea how hard to hit it. Number one. Number two, if you don't hit it hard enough, it's going to come back to you. And if they get any kind of heat there, which is, it's Georgia, they're going to get some warmth. Those greens become ridiculously fast. So it's like putting on a pool table.
Yeah,
so you're right.
I think we had some bad weather last year, but
Yeah.
as you said, if it's sunny, those greens are damn fast. And to further your point, if you're putting uphill and you don't hit it hard enough, not only is the ball coming back to you, it might roll off the green down the fairway slope, and now you're chipping it back on.
I want to say it was lefty Mickelson. Actually, one of the years he won the jacket, right? I saw him hit a putt that failed. I mean, it went up. It almost made it to the cup, and it started back down. And he literally had to jump because if the ball would hit him, that would have been a stroke. So he literally had to jump to get out of the way to let the ball go by him and roll off the green. So it happens, and that's the narrow part of Augusta, the hilly part of Augusta, and the greens that are ridiculously unforgiving. And there's a few bunkers out there. Not that many, but a few. Make that course difficult to play. And as I said before, it's not an amazingly tough course, but it will, let me put it this way, it taxes your head. Because you're going to look out there and you're going to say, there's no way I don't get this. It's, come on. I can see everything in front of me. It's all here. But you just slide off just a little bit left or a little bit right, and all hell breaks loose. That's where the devil did go down to Georgia on that one. There's no question about that. Rest in peace, Charlie Daniels. I'm not sure that he ever played Augusta, but the devil did go down to Georgia and create a golf course. So it'll be fun. By the way, for those who want to watch, you will be able to see it on CBS here in the United States, as well as stream it on Paramount Plus. It's on ESPN. You'll stream it on ESPN Plus and Golf Channel. Our buddies over there have all of the around the tournament stuff for you. So they'll be in Augusta giving you all that good stuff. So starting tomorrow, there will be golf, and you'll get to hear the dulcet tones of hello friends Jim Nance, who did not call the NCAA final for the first time in 20 years. And you'll hear him again when he does welcomes you to Augusta, which is like walking, by the way, back into the 1950s. It's you can buy lunch at Augusta for less than $10. You can't buy anything on a pro golf course for less than $10. So you can buy their pimento cheese sandwiches. What is it? Chips and a soda for like $5 or $6.
Yeah, I saw some of the prices. Like less than $3 for both things on the menu.
Yeah, and you got of course it costs you, if you're not a member of the course, getting in is tough. Tickets to Augusta are frankly tougher to get than Super Bowl tickets. You have to be invited. And so that's why tickets, if a ticket is on the black market, I can honestly assure you it wasn't because someone wasn't going to use it. It was because somebody decided to sell it. And that's frowned upon. So that could be something that could get you bounced. But and they call them patrons. They don't call them fans down there. So the patrons will be very pleased with what happens. So we'll keep an eye out for what goes on at the Masters. Speaking, my friend, there's some tennis. There's some soccer coming up. As before we get out of here, you want to impart some wisdom on what's going on this afternoon? They have 3:00 starts.
Yeah, definitely. We got two great games to watch here in the Champions League today,
Mm-hmm.
and there's going to be two great ones tomorrow. So the first one, yeah, as you said, both are at 3 o'clock. We got
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal and Bayern Munich today, so that's a
It's a
very
good
good one.
matchup.
But it is nothing compared to our other match here. We got Real Madrid and Manchester City in pretty much a
Mm-hmm.
rematch of last year's semifinals. So
Okay.
these are going to be some very good matchups to watch for sure. Tomorrow we have it's a bit more watered down. We have Atletico Madrid and Borussia Dortmund, and then the other match tomorrow is PSG versus Barcelona. But yeah, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here in the competition. So we're going to be crowning a champion very soon. I mean, even in the Premier League, there's only eight games or less left in the season. So definitely, it's gonna be a fun one to watch. And if you want to know what I'm on, you can always go grab the premium plays I have. I got two up for these. One on
In the
each
show box
of
below.
the games. Yes.
And there's all kinds of other. You got anything else going on tonight? So you want to promote it?
Yeah. So make sure you check out my premium picks at
Mm-hmm.
bigal.com, pickadvisor.com, and theinsidersroom.com. The links are in the description below. Yeah, I have those. I got a play on each Champions League game. I have a bunch of plays on the Copa Libertadores and the Copa Sudamericana tonight, uh, and even the CONCACAF Champions Cup. So it's just I got Champions League in three different continents, and I got action in all of it. So make sure you check out my action on the pitch. I also have a couple of NBA plays as well as some baseball for you to check out. So make sure you go get that.
There you go. Um, one quick aside. I don't know if you saw it last night. Um, Early in the game, in the UConn Purdue game, Zach Zach made a good shot, and he went by the UConn bench and he started chirping at the players on the bench, basically saying to them, there's nothing you can do to stop me. And so the next time he hits a shot, he's going by the bench. The coach, Hurley, stands up and says, as Zach is going by, "We're not going to stop you. We're just going to beat you."
And that's
And
exactly what they did.
and that's exactly what happened. But it was, you don't really see that often. You don't see, you know, you might see a player, kind of mug his way past as he goes by the bench of the opposing team, which is, by the way, not a wise thing to do. But you seldom see a coach stand up and back his guys because he didn't want his guys to get in trouble. So it's like, hey, don't worry about it. Go score your points. You can score all the points you want to. We're still going to beat you.
Yeah,
And he was right.
somebody obviously never told him not to poke the tiger, poke the bear.
Right. Yeah. Or you'll get eaten. And kind of what happened to him here is he got eaten last night. So he'll make his money in the NBA. Not a problem there. And we'll see how that rolls out. So that's about what we got for you today. It's good to have Amadeus back. Yesterday, he was, as we said, he was our Eclipse correspondent. All of the information on the picks that you want is below in our show box. We hope that you have some fun. Come on back tomorrow. We'll be talking some. No doubt, we'll be talking some golf, and coming up pretty soon here is going to be the French Open, and we'll get some clay tennis talking as well. All right, everybody, have a nice day. For Amadeus, I'm Jim, and we will see you tomorrow about 2 o'clock. Okay, take care. Bye bye.